Good morning, my dear friends. Myself, Dr. M. H. Chennaya, presently Vice Principal at Saptagiri College of Engineering, Bangalore. And friends, in today's session, we are going to learn a problem on a steel rod which is subjected to a completely reversed axial load. So the moment you say that is completely reversed load or a completely reversed bending moment or a bending moment fluctuating between two values, this is a clear indication which shows that the member is subjected to the fatigue loading. So here friends, since it is an axial load, I am going to take the Soderberg equation for axial load given by sigma A by sigma minus 1D plus sigma m divided by sigma yd is equal to 1. Similarly, if it is a case of a bending problem, we are going to have sigma ba by sigma minus 1d plus sigma bm by sigma yd equal to 1. If it is the case of a fluctuating torsion, we are going to have tau a by tau minus 1d plus tau m by tau yd equal to 1. Here we know very well it is an axial load which is completely reversed. I will tell you what the meaning of this fluctuating load is. Friends, similar to the discussion we had on this in the previous session, let us find out these parameters one by one and then equate it to 1, get the value of the diameter. So let me calculate the value of sigma A. Friends, I told you sigma A is the stress amplitude which is given by FA by A. FA stands for the load amplitude which is equal to F maximum minus F minimum divided by 2, and this area is pi d square by 4. And friends, this works out to 2 times F maximum minus F minimum divided by pi d square, where d is the diameter of the rod to be found out. Friends, let us see what are these values of F max and F minimum. Friends, you say the rod is subjected to a completely reversed axial load of 2 kilonewton. So friends, this is the member. If you say this is subjected to a pull, a tensile load of 2 kilonewton for some cycles. Similarly, the same load is reversed, means that is subjected to compressive load of the same magnitude. So when I say the load is completely reversed, the maximum load is 2 kilonewton, the minimum load is also 2 kilonewton but with a negative sign, and hence I will write down here for this problem F max is 2 kilonewton, which is equal to 2000 Newton, and F minimum will also have the same magnitude but with a negative sign, that is minus 2000 Newton. This is the meaning of this. Friends, if you substitute here, you will get this equal to 2 times maximum is 2000 minus of minimum is minus 2000 divided by pi d square by 4. Sorry, pi d square, because already I utilized that. So this is 2000 plus 2000 is 4000 into 2. So this works out to 8000 by pi d square. This is the meaning of the sigma A, which works out to 8000 by pi d square. Friend, this I am going to save it separately so that we are going to use it later on. So I will say here sigma A is equal to 8000 by pi d square, where d is the diameter of the rod to be found out. Now after writing this, let me rub this portion completely. This is only the calculation part of sigma A. Friends, after finding out sigma A, let's find out what sigma m is and what is its value. So on the same lines, friends, we know that sigma m is the mean stress, that is equal to Fm by A. So mean stress is mean load, that is Fm by A. What is Fm? Fm is the mean load or the average load. This is nothing but F max plus F minimum by 2 divided by area is again pi d square by 4. Friends, you know very well this F maximum is 2000 Newton plus F minimum is minus 2000 Newton, because the load is completely reversed, and divided by this quantity pi d square by 2 you will get. Friends, this is 2000 minus 2000, that becomes 0, and hence the whole quantity becomes 0. That is to say, in all these problems, whether it is a problem on the axial load or on a bending load or on a torsional load, if the load is completely reversed, then the mean stress is equal to 0. And I can simply say here in this equation of Soderberg, sigma m is equal to 0. So when sigma m is equal to 0, the whole quantity gets vanished, and you have got, or this equation reduces to sigma a divided by sigma minus 1d is equal to 1, because the second quantity is 0. So now the question is simplified, and we will have to just equate sigma a to sigma minus 1d. Sigma a already we have calculated. By calculating this value of sigma minus 1d, we should be able to arrive at the diameter of the rod required. Friends, here I'll just find out now what is sigma minus 1d. Friends, sigma minus 1d is equal to sigma minus 1, means the endurance stress, divided by n suffix minus 1d. Sigma minus 1 is the endurance stress that is given in the question as 448.2. This is 448.2. In case this is not given in the question, you can approximately take it as 50% of the sigma u value. N minus 1d, we know it is the product of KSZ, KSR, KL, N minus 1a. This equation is given in the data handbook. Friends, let us find out what these values are. Here KSZ, I told you, this KSZ is 0.85, this KSR is 1 by ESR, and this KL is, for the case of an axial load, it is 0.7, and the factor of safety given is equal to 3. Friends, we know all these quantities excepting ESR. ESR is the surface coefficient. Friends, there is a graph in the data handbook wherein sigma u is plotted along the x-axis and ESR is plotted along the y-axis. And here, if you, a lot of curves are given, and I am going to consider this as a rough finished surface. So there is a curve which says the rod is rough finished. You know the sigma u value is approximately 800, say 793.4, say approximately 800. Write a vertical line from there, it cuts the curve here, write a horizontal line, you will get this value as 0.8 approximately. The value of ESR is 0.8. So I am going to substitute here 1 by 0.8, which is in other terms is 1.25. Friends, if you simplify this with this substitution, you are going to get the value of sigma minus 1d as 198.36. 198.36 Newton per mm square. Friends, you know sigma a, which is in terms of d, to be found out, and sigma minus 1d is a known quantity. Just equate them and get the value of d. So I am going to equate sigma minus 1d to the sigma a, which is by pi d square. Friends, if you find out the value of d, this works out to 3.58 mm. So, a steel rod for whose specification is given here to withstand this fluctuating load, which is completely reversed, the diameter of the rod should be 3.58 millimeter. My dear friends, I hope the presentation on this fluctuating axial load was interesting, and friends, I am sure you will have followed all these steps followed in the problem, and if you are happy with the presentation, do subscribe to my channel, share the information with all your friends, and have a wonderful day. And this is Professor M. H. Channaya signing off.